everybody, welcome back to my channel. Today I have a bit of a special video. We have had a comment from one of you guys asking about some cardstock that can be used for stamping and then die cutting out. So I thought I'd do a video showing the cardstock that we have currently. So let's get into it. Hi everybody, welcome back to my channel. Thank you so much for watching this video today and joining me. As I said in the introduction, today I have a special video. On one of our previous ones, we've had a comment from one of you guys asking for recommendations on any card that can be used for stamping and then die cutting where it won't sort of rip along the edges. Now I've got plenty of stamp sets. These are just two of them, and I have got some little dies, but I haven't really used them that much. So as much as I will recommend if I know anything that's any good, what I don't want to do is recommend anything and it not be the right stuff. So I thought I'd make a video just to show you this particular card. This is from, I bought it from Amazon, but it's called House of Card. It's 220 GSM, so it's not a bad weight, but it's also not one of the thickest weights you can get. However, the comment said that they're looking for something that they can stamp on, die cut out, and then back onto cards. So sometimes you don't want anything too thick for that anyway, because your card can soon become quite bulky. I have replied to the comment and said that this is some of the cardstock that I've got, but that I'm not 100% sure how well it will work. But I thought I would do a video because there may be others in a similar sort of position where they want to look for a decent cardstock. Now, one of the comments that she said was that sometimes when she buys the white cardstock, it's not actually pure white, it's more like a creamy white. So I've got a card blank here. These are pure white card blanks. So let's see how that compares. I would say that that's a white. Definitely doesn't appear to be a creamy white, which is great. So let's look at how well this stamps up. So these are a couple of stamp sets that I bought from Shein. Let's open this one up first. Now neither one of these has been used, I don't think. Maybe the dragon one has. This one definitely hasn't. So let's grab one of these. Now I've got one of the Crafter's Companion stamping platforms. I find this quite handy, especially if I need to put a stamp in a very specific space. And then I'm going to be using the VersaFine in black. I bought this so that I could use it with my Prism inks and use it as like a watercolour. So I have used this a few times. It's a very nice ink pad, I must admit. And if anybody here is watching and you have recommendations for a card for this lovely person, then please do drop some comments down below and I can let them know. I'm just going to clean up my board a little bit because, as I say, I don't do it a great deal. This just happens to be some card that I have that I've bought for something else. Let me do this on the side. So there's our first stamped image. That's stamped beautifully. So let's take that one off of there. Then I'm going to cut round this very quickly and carefully because I have one of the little mini Sizzix sidekicks, so it needs to be fairly small to go through it. This is my sidekick. Beautiful little dinky thing. Works for pretty much all of the projects that I do. And it sits quite nicely on the side of my desk without taking up too much space. I do have others, but they're all a little bit bigger, quite bulky. I'm going to use one of the Temu dies. So this is part of the round set. Probably should have left myself a little bit more of a border, but it's all okay. I get my little sidekick cutting plates. And I use the Hunky Dory low tack tape just to tape these in place so they don't move. And that way, using the low tack tape doesn't damage my card. So now that is taped in place, put my top plate on. Bring this through. Move that out of the way slightly. There we go. So as you can see, that has cut out beautifully. You've got the stamped image there. And that looks absolutely gorgeous. Now, I don't know how this card would stand up if you wanted to do any watercolouring. In fact, let me go and grab a little bit of water in my brush and we can give it a go. Right, I've just put a little bit of water in one of my thinner ended brushes. This one was purchased from, I think these came from Shein, but I'm sure Temu probably do them as well. I'm going to get my box of Prism ink pads. Let's have a look. I want a red and a pale brown. Definitely need to organise these a little bit better. We'll go for the Velvet Fawn for his belly. We'll go for Muddy Boots for his little spikes on the back. And then I've definitely Letterbox Red. We'll go for Letterbox Red for the heart. And then I've got, this is just some tissue that I used for the ink on this pad. So I'm going to start off with the Letterbox Red. I tend to just prime my brush first, get some water down. Then I dip straight into my ink pads. I know you don't have to, but I like this way. Pick up some of that colour. My brush is really, really wet. So that did expand out over the Prism ink. I think that's just because my brush was quite wet on that one. So let's keep going. You live and learn. Pick up some of this Muddy Boot. So here's little spikes done. Dry that off a little bit, pull out some of that colour, and then we're going to go for the Velvet Fawn. And don't worry if you dip in and it makes it white, it does replenish. brush is really wet. There we go. Seems to be okay. It has spread out. Oh, it has gone through though. So probably not the best card to do watercolouring on because it has gone through to the other side. But up until that point it was great. So let's move that one to one side. Put my inks back. It's all about trial and error, and if I can make videos like this where I can show you how something works or to give recommendations, then I'm more than happy to do so. Let's put my stamp back and we will grab one of the dragon ones. If there is any other videos that you want me to make, if you want any recommendations, or if you've seen something that you want to buy but not sure how it would work or if it's any good, and I have it, then please do let me know. I'm more than happy to do these sorts of videos. Anything that can be helpful to you guys, I'm happy to do. That was a nice size, so let's see that cutie there will fit. My stamping plate. In fact, I'm not going to watercolour this one, so I'll use just one of the prisms. This is the Holly Green. Just to show how the card reacts to this type of ink. There we go. So these are dye-based inks, whereas the VersaFine was a pigment ink. Move it to this side. Stamp that on. Beautiful. I bring in my die cutting. I'm going to give it a little bit bigger of a border this time. Go. So onto my cutting mat. Go. Die on top. Top plate. Bring in the odd side kick. Run that through. Move it out of the way. And there we go. So I think that that looks absolutely beautiful. It's die cut really nicely. There's no ripped edges. It is just die cut through. And this is using one of the Temu dies. So it's not an expensive die at all. I've used two different inks. This one was a little bit of a fail once I added the watercolour on. But the actual VersaFine stamping went on beautifully. And so did this one with the prism ink. So I would say that this is probably a really good option for you. If anybody's watching and knows of anything any better or just as good, then please do pop your comments down below. I love the crafting community. We're all here to help each other out. So please do pop some comments down below. If you want the link to this, I can send it over to you. That's not a problem at all. In fact, I'll just add this one in. It is just the single link for the cardstock anyway. If you like the stamps and want the links to the stamps, let me know and I'll try and find them. I bought these about 3 or 4 months ago, so I don't know whether they'll still have them. But yeah, I hope you've found this useful, or at least somebody may have done. If you want me to do any more of these types of videos, then please do let me know, and let me know what you want me to show you. If you have something in particular that you want to go through, then I'm more than happy to make these types of videos. Other than that, thank you so much for joining me today. Have a wonderful rest of your day, and we'll see you again soon. Bye.